All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Q&A live stream number 41. It is approximately 8:34 right here on the East Coast in the great state of New Jersey. So today we're going to be going over a couple of things. Obviously, the coronavirus is the number one thing that's on everybody's mind today, but we're gonna try. I want to try and take everybody's mind off it because it's just every day it gets more painful. Trust me. But yeah. So, anyways, oh, my friend just joined. Hey, Ricky, how are you, man? I tried to call you earlier today. Just let me know if you wanna chat a little bit later on in tonight or something. So we're gonna give people a couple minutes to join. Excuse me, by the way. Um, so obviously, as you can tell, it's a Q&A live stream number 41 with friend, and that person will be joining us very shortly. Yes, I'm very good. Thank you for asking, Ricky. I'm pretty good getting my classes done as usual. Guys, I do seriously hope you're keeping up with your grades. And if any of you are in school, I hope you're keeping up with your grades and you're checking your Google Classrooms and stuff and Zooms. And yeah, so unfortunately, there's not that much to talk about with malls because obviously what's on everybody's mind is the coronavirus. Smith Haven right now, we're still looking at the 18th. Like I said, once it gets closer, I want to wait because New Jersey and New York are expected to reopen up their schools in middle of April. I think it's a realistic, in my opinion. I think there's going to be a 2 or 3 weeks of these crazy different, maybe 1 or 2 weeks of these crazy positive coronavirus tests, and I think it'll start to go down, in my opinion, at least. No, I have not been to the Franklin Mills Mall in Ohio. I don't have family in Ohio, only Pennsylvania, unfortunately. But yeah, so anyways. So like I said, we're gonna give people a couple of minutes to go ahead and join because I know sometimes it takes a little bit for people to join. But anyways, so regarding malls right now, just Smith Haven and then possibly Kmart at Penn Station. It all depends again how things work out with the virus. I'm hoping that this week was the worst, and hopefully things will start to look a little bit better. I would say hopefully by the second week of April and right around Easter time. That would be a beautiful time for things to start actually looking a lot better. Because I do have an appointment, I believe, on the 16th of April. So hopefully things will start. I'm not saying everything's going to come back at once, but basic, simple, like doctor's offices and shopping malls. Like, I don't care about Disney and stuff. That would be great if that could open up too. But basic stuff, malls, offices, you name it. But we'll just have to wait and see. Philadelphia Mills. No, I have not been to. I've never been to Philadelphia, and as crazy as that sounds, it's kind of true. But anyways, so like I said, we're going to wait around and we're going to see if anybody is going to join. If people do start to join at a certain point in the video, we will keep the stream going. If not, guys, unfortunately, the stream is going to have to come to an end. So hopefully, sorry about that. Whoa, I don't know why my computer just did that. So like I said, we're going to give people some time to go ahead and join. I'm surprised nobody's on tonight unless Diesel Lucy unless Diesel Lucy's going live tonight. Let's see. No. Interesting, because typically when Andrew Reams goes live, not a lot of people watch my stream, and I totally get that. They want to see him, but damn, there's really nobody who's watching the stream tonight. Huh. Interesting, and this is a good time too. Friday at 8:30. No one's really doing anything now because of the whole thing with the coronavirus. It's really surprising. So I'll give people a couple minutes to go ahead and join and stuff. Like I said, I know it takes a little bit for people to come on, so hopefully we'll get some more people. Because I mean, I've done these streams very well. Like I did them in my dorm before. Obviously, the whole thing with the outbreak. So, oh, hello, Lenny AO3. How are you? Dylan D. Jesus, what will replace the Kmart in Toms River, New Jersey? Nothing on that right now. I don't know what's going to replace it. I think it's probably going to be a couple of smaller stores, I would imagine. Yeah, there's really nothing going on at Sears for liquidation. I think the Sears fate is going to be on hold right now. I do think Sears is the end of Sears is still coming. But right now it is on hold, obviously due to the outbreak. What I will say too, a very, very smart decision was for the delay of the DreamWorks water park. Yes, it would have been nice to go there, but the circumstances, obviously, we did not want to start to have coronavirus cases at American Dream. So I think Don Guardian made the smart decision to not even open up the water park. So now I kind of feel bad because I should have went to the preview, but then none of the exciting rides are open. But oh well, you know, no one could have predicted it. So no, you have to have evidence to back that up. Anybody, trust me, anybody can say anything online, but you have to have evidence in order to back that up. Like if it says, whether it's a news article or it's from the actual property owner and it says this is going here and this is going there, obviously that would be considered an inaccurate statement, unfortunately, unless you have a source to back it up. Guys, remember, don't be a what's his name who comments on every series. Don't be an Eric Mankinson or whatever his name is, because he will go on any Sears closing video and he'll say, you know, this store is expected to be replaced by Dick's Sporting Goods. So anyways, so like I said, yeah, yep, Eric Magnuson, and he goes on every single video and says this store is expected to turn into that. So clearly he doesn't do his homework and he doesn't go online and read the articles. Even with these closing videos, guys, you have to have information that actually backs up of what's going to be replacing the soon-to-be or former Anchor store. Otherwise, you're just making yourself look like a fool on the internet. Unfortunately, that's the times we live in. Unfortunately. So, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, even today, I was looking out at the streets. Nobody. It's just, we really live in unprecedented times. I mean, I'm very optimistic that things will start to get better, hopefully by the end of next week. You know, like I said, hopefully this was the worst of it, and hopefully with this thing that they just passed, things can start looking better by the end of next week. I do know that, you know, someone could say, oh, you're, you know, contradicting it. But I mean, the truth is we need to recover from this quickly. You know, we don't have time to sit on the sidelines and, you know, wait for this to blow over. We need to take action, and we need to, you know, get our people back to work. Not saying next week, but let's not keep them waiting on the sidelines. You know, a place like Disney, you know, I can understand why they're closing, you know, because it's a big place and there's a lot of people that go there, you know, a place. So I'm hopeful and optimistic that things will somewhat get back to normal mid or possibly late April. And then I'm hoping by early May, things will be almost back to normal. And then probably by Memorial Day weekend, that's the long run, is everything will be back to normal. The beaches will be open. And by Memorial Day weekend, we can put this coronavirus madness behind us. That's what I'm hoping for. You know, it's a very truthful goal. I really hope to see people return back to New York City schools by April 20th, and hopefully malls will open up right after Easter. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, no. I mean, I've thought about that, but it's excuse me, I probably need to drink some more water. Um, I just ignore them honestly because I don't know. It's just there's so much stuff that's going on in my life. I don't have time for little things like that. So, but I haven't seen him comment recently, and I think a lot of the times now it's under for review. So I don't need. So at that point, I just ignore them because there's no point. I'm not going to waste my energy on something like that. Like he's inaccurate. Unless it's coming from somebody who said, NorthJersey.com Newsday said that this store is going to in this store. Unless I see an official article with the link, then I'll say this is a very credible source. Thank you. But other than that, no. So, anyways, so we're gonna have I know I said with friend, we're going to have an appearance pretty soon. But like I said, I want to wait for the peak to let the person in. We're only at a couple people right now, so I want to kind of get that up just a little bit. I'm really surprised there's really nobody watching these streams unless nowadays everybody's just watching movies and stuff. Who knows? So, anyways, I'll give it a couple more seconds, and then I will just have to let the person in because it's starting to eat up in part of the live stream. So, anyways, so guys, without a further ado, I just have to send the email. This whole thing with Google can take forever. I really hate using StreamYard, but like I said, until we can get 1,000 subscribers, and I know that thing is going to be delayed. So anyways. So yeah. Surprised nobody has any major questions. I know there's not a lot. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's right. The last Blockbuster on the planet is in Bend, Oregon, which is probably now closed due to the coronavirus. So anyways, yeah, Perth, Oregon is the last Blockbuster remaining. Sorry about that. It's very nostalgic. It was a great store. Like I said, many years ago, I used to rent this game called The Simpsons Hit and Run. It was on the GameCube, and oh man, me and my brother, we would spend hours playing, and it was just good times. So anyways, so I give you guys now the introduction of tonight's special guest on the Q&A live stream number 41. Unfortunately, it's not Ricky, and unfortunately, it won't be for a while because of COVID-19. So without a further ado, I introduce you tonight's special guest on Q&A live stream number 41, Transportation 930. Transportation 930, would you like to say something?
Hello, guys. How are we all doing today?
I think we're doing pretty well, managing the weeks.
Do you think this week is the peak of it?
I think so.
Because I'm planning to go to King of Prussia over spring break, and it just says that, what do you call it? March 29th, but I don't know why they're all saying that. Oh, hello.
I think they're going to come out with a statement at some point next week. I know Disney just put up. Excuse me. Wow, I just lost my breath for a second. I think Disney just pushed back their opening day, which makes sense. I mean, it's a bigger park, so I can see why they're doing that. It's a.
I was in Disney World in December of 2018, and it was mobbed.
Well, of course, it's Walt Disney World. What do you expect?
What would it be like now if it was mobbed?
Nah, they're gonna do limited hours once that stuff opens up again. I think somebody from Long Island just joined. Hello, I love elevators. How are you? But yeah.
So what's the status on Smith Haven right now?
Smith Haven,
April 18th.
yeah, I think so. Just to be on the safe side. And I might even push it to the 24th if things don't start to get better. So, but I think the 18th is the target date. And that's only because all the schools are going to reopen up after spring break. So I'm hoping that we can put this madness to rest by then.
So actually, after spring break, when I go back, I will no longer have the Chromebook. And once I give up the Chromebook, I get the MacBook Pro.
Nice. That's, I guess,
So I'll have a better camera.
yeah. That's good, I guess.
How about Macy's and Comac? How are you going to get from Smith Haven to Macy's and Comac and back to the train?
I mean, I got a whole plan.
You're really walking 53 minutes from St. George to Smith Haven?
St. James, yeah, because I'm not gonna have a ride that day. So yeah, it's actually a 40-minute walk. It's not bad. It's like 2.6 miles. It's not terrible.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, how far was it from the Hicksville station to Broadway Commons?
Maybe like a 5-minute walk because it was close by to the train station. So I don't have as much luck as I did then, and I also have to change trains too. So I can't even go direct from where I live. I have to drive down to Secaucus Junction, which I'm about 15 minutes away from, get on a 6:30 train, and then I have like 7 minutes to go from the NJT side over to the Long Island Railroad, and then I got to change trains in Huntington from electric to diesel, and then I get off at St. James and then have to walk about 40 minutes.
Yeah, I know when you get farther out on Long Island, it just gets. No, it's not easy to get places on the LIRR farther out on Long Island.
Yeah, once you hit Huntington, it's
not easy to get places.
No.
So when JBM Ryder gets gets his car in November when he turns 17, we're gonna drive out to Long Island.
You guys are gonna legit drive out there?
Oh yeah. We're not taking mass transit at this rate. No way. But it'll probably be over by that, but we're not gonna change trains.
Well, yeah, for you it makes sense.
ourselves.
I'm a little bit closer to Long Island, so it makes a little bit more sense for me. And I'm only going one stop into Penn, so it's not even that bad.
We're going like maybe 17 or 18 stops from Morristown. We're going a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I did Convent to Hicksville, and even that was very long. It was like 2 hours back, almost $40 for the trains. It's a lot of money.
Did you eventually fall asleep on there?
No, I got really tired when I got back to my dorm. I was exhausted, but I had to do it. I mean, 1956 armors, and now they're gone. Now you don't have access to them anymore.
Yeah. Luckily, my parents won't take me out to Long Island because they don't like traffic in New York City. They don't like it.
My tip of advice: if you do Long Island, go early.
That's
very
what I'm
early.
going to do with JBM Ryder for his birthday. We're going to go early.
Because the traffic gets bad quickly.
And do you not enjoy the ride to Long Island?
If you can go early enough and come back early enough, it's not the worst thing in the world. You just have to have.
How about if you go at 5 o'clock on a Monday?
No, because that's like the height of rush hour.
Don't do that.
No, go on a weekend and go early before the traffic comes out.
To take from his house to to Roosevelt Field. It's supposed to take an hour and 12 minutes. It could take us an hour and a half.
Hour and 12.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but apparently the drive there is.
Yeah, because you have to go on 80 over the bridge. Well, no, you have to go. What is it?
Over like 2 or 3 bridges.
Yeah.
It's not going to be fun, but he's going to do it. His parents are really training him to drive, and he really wants to drive, so he's going to do it for me.
Does he want to go to any other malls on Long Island or just Roosevelt Field?
Roosevelt Field and then Westbury.
Westbury? Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And then maybe we'll go to Walt Whitman Shops in 2021. Maybe.
a long.
I don't have my plan to go to Long Island is not till November, so you got a long time.
Well, I'm going out there again. I think, well, in April, but that's because I'm like not even 10 minutes away from the city, so it's just a little easier for me versus you, I guess. Okay, let's
Have I been to Pizza Hut or Taco Bell? No. I don't like those two places.
Pizza Hut. I kind of like their stuffed crust, and Taco Bell. It's okay, I guess, but all of them now are doing delivery. So, anyways, yeah. La Garangia restaurants. Nope. What else do we have here? Polo Tropical. No, we don't have Polo Tropical up here. What else? Oh, Primark. No, they're gonna open up an American Dream.
So,
That
Chris, I have a new schedule for my YouTube channel. On the weekends, I post announcements. On Wednesdays, I do a few elevators in Princeton.
okay? That's fine, I guess. Yeah, I'm really sad too about Macy's in Hicksville. That was a huge loss. I mean, the tallest suburban department store in the United States, plus those classic armors were those were a piece of history that's gone. That's unfortunately gone.
Were
And
you sad to see it go?
yeah, especially that the fact that the store closed 5 days earlier than intended because of the coronavirus. It
You
was
know
supposed to.
what? If I would have never, I was like about to cry in my bed as much as it was a funeral on that night because I could never ever see him, and that was something I wanted to see in my life, and I couldn't see him. So I was crying in bed that night. It happened.
Damn.
Because it was sad. I was thinking that maybe it was going to go longer, but it didn't.
Yeah,
Yes,
you should have went in like February if you really wanted to go there.
no, but my parents just wouldn't take me. It's their stupid excuses about the traffic going out to Long Island. They wouldn't
Have you
take me.
told them to go first thing in the morning?
They still don't. They think it's a zillion miles away and it's stupid that we can go to Roosevelt Field when King of Prussia is like 45 minutes from us. It's stupid. But I told them
Yeah,
it's
but
19
yes, but
Each armor elevators
you're not
gotta
even
go.
going to Roosevelt Field.
Huh?
But you even say you're not. But have you said you don't want to go to Roosevelt Field? Like you have to tell them, I don't want to go to Roosevelt Field. I want to go to this place instead of Roosevelt Field.
No, I told them that, but they just say no Long Island. They just don't want to take me.
And
No
as
Long
I
Island.
could see that makes sense a little bit. It's harder for
They
people
don't
who
like
live
driving
in
in
the
the
South.
city. They don't like driving on the Belt Parkway. They don't like driving on the bridges.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it was a blow. I never got to see it. And that was something I really wanted to see in my life. Do you think they'll ever get reused?
no, no. They're not going to get reused. The building is very unattractive. They're just going to probably knock the building down.
Are the elevators still currently working in there?
Yes.
I thought you said when the power gets turned off in the building, the elevators do not work.
Well, because the power system, I think, is still connected to the mall. So they might still work. They might not. I don't know exactly. Um, but yeah, man, it's still very sad. That the largest store, it's still sad. I'm glad I went though. No regrets about that store.
Did you do the full mall there?
Yeah, the only thing I didn't hit was the movie theater, but that was because I didn't want to spend too much time. I even had I had these 2 movie tickets that I have to use by April 30th. Otherwise, they what's it called? They'll
Oh, you went to
expire.
Roosevelt Field today. Nice. Nice.
You went to wait.
No, he went to Roosevelt Field, another YouTuber. Just comment.
No, I know, but that mall's closed unless he went to one of the restaurants to get takeout.
Parking deck. Parking deck.
No, I know that. I'm saying his family must have went to one of the restaurants to get takeout because you can't really do much else at that mall.
Not right now. No.
Why not, dude? I posted my video about mall security. I got a lot of good feedback about that. Um, I think it's only limited to 2. Sorry about that.
No, it says it can join 6 people in the live stream, but we don't
Yeah,
want
but
everybody jealous. We don't
yeah, I don't want to.
put.
And then it interferes with everybody talking. With 2 people, I can handle that. That's the lead. That's the most I can handle.
Maybe next time let's give Lenny03 a turn.
Maybe I don't know. I don't really have his contact information. That's why. Otherwise, I would, but it's I can't, unfortunately. Sorry. Um, you use the pencil to push a button. That's like the Facebook video I saw. Someone actually used their shoe to push an elevator button. Yeah, you just infected the button with all that stuff on the bottom of your shoe. Who does that? Why would you use a first of all? Why would you use a pencil to push the button? That's
It's
actually no, the
stupid.
shoe is more funny than the pencil. I get the pencil.
The elevator buttons are one of the most germiest things you can ever touch.
Yeah, but not if you wash your hands before touching them.
That's why every time I leave the house, I bring a hand sanitizer with me. Every time.
Every time. Okay.
Every time.
I'm sorry. I have to read through the rest of this stuff in the chat. All I did was check the Maryland elevator codes and Google Maps, and I found some places in Berlin, Maryland. Okay, so then you should definitely go film those condo elevators once the whole thing with the coronavirus blows over. What else do we got here?
I like KFC, but I've never had Popeyes.
KFC. I mean, I'm a vegetarian. Their biscuits aren't terrible, but I don't know. Their fries aren't too bad. They're thinking about removing them. Well, yeah, anything needs to be hand sanitized. They're hand sanitizing stuff around the clock, especially on the trains and stuff. In fact, there was you know what the news forgot about today? The train incident in on 110th Street. A whole train burned up.
What?
Yeah, look it up.
Oh my god. Did people die from it?
One person died. Look up number 2 train, 110th Street. Just look it up. I think they spent maybe like 16 seconds on it. And then they talked about the coronavirus the rest of the time. I haven't really been
That's
watching
all what
TV.
they're talking about. Did you see my Aunt Coco on the news?
I don't really pay attention to that stuff. I just thought it was lame.
Yeah, but we almost thought she was going to be on the national news because we were like sitting on David Muir. We were watching David Muir, and they said a moment of that would make Mr. Rogers happy. We thought it was Aunt Coco, but it was not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really find that stuff to be entertaining. Well, yeah, of course. What else we got here?
Hopefully, I'll go to Kentucky this summer, and I'll go see her.
And the car sat there doing nothing. Since I did nothing wrong. The only reason I could see security being on their rounds is they probably don't want people around in the parking decks when the mall's closed. I could see in an instance that they probably don't want people using their elevators while their mall's not open. I completely understand why that they're doing that.
Do all 4 parking decks at Roosevelt Field have elevators?
Yeah, including the Kone near Neiman Marcus.
No, that's the blue one.
Yeah,
the red
all
is
of
2.
them.
The red is the JCPenney that has 2. Purple has 2, and orange has 2. Is that right?
Yeah, and then one of them has a Schindler MT and the other has a 338 near Grand Lux. Make sure to go down to 2. Don't start at the top floor because that's the only place where the elevator button works. Yeah, I mean, I've been meaning to get back to Roosevelt Field and don't get me wrong on this, but Neiman Marcus might be filing for bankruptcy very soon.
But why? They just spent a lot of money building that Neiman Marcus at Roosevelt Field.
They're closing a lot of the last call stores, and with the COVID-19 outbreak, I could see them ceasing operations. So
Modell's just opened a really nice store in Granite Promenade,
a really nice there.
And they're just going to shut it down after like not even a year in business there.
Changing times. That's all I could say. It stinks. Trust me. I'm with you on that.
They spent a lot of money on
I know.
rebuilding the
And they
Granite Run
wanted to
Mall.
be on Long Island for years. For years. They wanted
No,
to
I'm
be.
talking about the Granite Run Mall in Media, Pennsylvania. They spent a lot of money rebuilding that place.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be one vacant spot. There's not a vacant spot yet in that mall, and there's going to be.
What? There's an Neiman Marcus at the Granite Run Mall?
No, there's not. No, this is just a brand new Granite Run Promenade. It's in Media, Pennsylvania, kind of by Philly.
Okay. Why is it vacant, though?
No, Modell's will make it vacant. When Modell's close,
Oh,
that space will be
right.
vacant.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Modell's is going out. You should probably make a trip to Monmouth Mall.
I will.
To see.
I will once this is all done. Next time I go to Jersey Shore and it's not during the COVID-19 outbreak, I will go to Monmouth Mall.
I've thought about it. If I'm in the area for a very reasonable amount of time and it's early in the morning, maybe. But then
You'll
again,
do the Pall Mall at Monmouth too?
yeah, I've never been there, but I've gone past it before.
You know, like the mall management office there leads to like a community room. There's bathrooms down there. It's kind of public.
Well, yeah. I guess you could see that as a public thing. They're gonna probably redo that soon. That whole mall. That's gonna be the Heights at Monmouth or something. I don't know. They're trying to get
And
the
the
ball
Monmouth Mall is
rolling.
not particularly nice.
Yeah, they're trying to get the ball rolling on that. Well, last call is pretty much going to be done very soon, so it wouldn't surprise me if Neiman Marcus either stays or goes in the next 2 years.
That's why I'm going to go to Roosevelt Field.
I've never been to Neiman Marcus at Roosevelt Field, but I would like to go if the store does physically liquidate.
Did you ever go on Chewbacca and Chewbacca Jr.?
Once. I went right before they removed them.
Why did they have to remove a mall renovation?
Hydraulic oil leaked.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a flood in like the JCPenney parking deck at Roosevelt Field that caused like the Schindlers not to work?
No.
Why doesn't the Schindler 330A really work?
Oh yeah, that was another incident. The flood.
What happened?
I think the Schindler flooded and it malfunctioned some parts of it, like the third floor call button. So that thing was just broken for many years, and then they finally fixed it because people needed it.
So it does work now. Just
it does work. Yes, it does work.
It probably breaks down occasionally, like all elevators, but
yeah, that's normal. Yeah, I know. I miss Chewbacca too. That was a great. And then they removed the Dover Scenic at Riverside, another Simon Mall that had a Dover elevator. But yeah.
Do you like the new elevators at Riverside?
Yes, they did a really nice job on them.
Is there going to be a fourth elevator?
No, that's only going to be.
Is there going to be any more escalators added?
No, no more escalators. No, they're the only new elevator that I think's coming to the mall. Well, aside from the Bloomingdale's modernized one, that needed it badly. Is probably going to be the. I have to say. Yeah, whatever restaurant goes in there, that's probably where they're going to put a new elevator. So.
But did they rip out the 2003 Schindler 330A in that?
I believe it's still there. They're probably going to retrofit it to fit the new restaurant that's going in there.
But didn't the escalators outside Bloomingdale's just get installed?
Yes.
When, like a year ago?
2 years ago, I think. 2017 or 18.
Because when did the Dover get ripped out? 2017?
I think so. Yeah.
17 into 18, I think.
Yeah, something like that. If we can hear it, the rest of the questions. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys, if we're getting to your questions a little bit late. Why was Modell's a bad company? A lot of the New York teams were losing, and Modell's kept losing competition to Dick's Sporting Goods, which was a much more dominant sporting goods store. I personally never liked Modell's. I don't really care for the brand. Just bad leadership, kind of like Sears almost. But Sears really doesn't have anything right now, except when they sold that Innovel Solutions for $1 billion to Costco. I definitely miss Chewbacca and Chewbacca Jr. definitely some great elevators on Long Island. It's a shame that they had to go. And I hate the new Kones there. I will. They run exactly like Garage B at Westfield Garden State Plaza. And
How
they
many
don't even use
Kones are
Kone
in that
anymore.
mall?
Their exclusive contract. I think they use some other weird third party company. They don't even use Kone anymore. They used Kone throughout the renovation, and they said bye bye. They're not that great.
I don't like Kona Eco Discs either. They're not my favorite. I
Yeah,
wish
XL. I'm not surprised.
Chewbacca and Chewbacca Jr. didn't go out.
Well, the hydraulic oil leaking played a factor, and also I
Did
think
people die from it?
What's that?
Did people die from the leak?
No, they just needed to remove them because they didn't want the oil to leak and then have lawsuits. So there was a good reason to do it. Yeah, they became very crappy Kona elevators, but the removal was necessary for the safety of the public in the mall. Yeah, the Kones suck, but it's right now the only retailer that is holding liquidation sales are the Sears stores, and even then it's just the Sears is even closing off certain parts of the store. And they are going to. There's
So
only
Sears is open in places?
Yeah, just with reduced hours, because they sell appliances and tools. That's why. And Kmart's allowed to be open too because they sell essentials for people to get. Yeah, crazy.
So at Smith Haven, is it going to close like at its regular date?
I would imagine. I want to try and go the earlier the better so they don't start closing off the floors, but I don't know. Hopefully there won't be caution tape and stuff. So we'll just have to wait and see. That's
How
why
about Sears in New Brunswick? Will that close on me?
I would say probably the first week of April.
So that's going to close on me, so I won't get to see it probably.
No, probably not. And same thing with Livingston.
And Georgetown and Woodbridge.
Yep, they're all probably. I would say that date of April 7th that they keep mentioning on Sears layoffs, that's probably when they're going to close those stores, except the ones that announced that they're closing in May.
So I'm probably not going to make it.
Probably not. Unfortunately, sorry. I mean, I went that Tuesday before everything went down the crapper, and I'm kind of happy I did.
Really, I filmed the Sears in Livingston, New Brunswick, and Woodbridge. I've not filmed Morristown, but Morristown is just Schindler, and I don't really care for that.
Yeah, that's why I'm not driving an hour and a half to go ride a modernized Schindler. I did that at Willowbrook.
But didn't you do the full mall at Willowbrook or no that time?
Nope, just Sears. I
And
only go to malls sometimes for certain places if I've been there with my video camera. My new one at least, but with my old one, I try to go. That's why I tried to do the Brunswick Square and Sears New Brunswick combo because I knew I haven't been to Brunswick Square in about 4 years.
Do you like Brunswick Square Mall? It's kind of dirty to me.
The only thing I like about that mall is the Macy's elevator. It's the last.
I used to live in Monroe Township when I was a baby. My parents used to take me there all the time.
Yeah, Brunswick Square. It's kind of a unique mall. They have great choices of elevators. I will say.
No, only two though.
No,
but
3.
Four if you count the freights.
Oh yeah, true. Actually, freights 5.
Why 5?
Well, 2 elevators at JCPenney, the bank at 2, the freight that's 3, Macy's that makes 4, and then the Macy's freight that's 5.
But it seems weird if the main elevator is closed off. Do they let people use the freight?
Yeah.
If you ask, they will let you.
Yeah.
So I got to be lucky if this elevator's out of service. I got to be lucky to get on it.
Yeah, you would just need an escort. That's all.
I could just tell them I have an interest in elevators. Can you please take me on the freight elevator since the main elevators are closed?
Yeah, you could probably get away with something like that. What are the fast food restaurants announced for American Dream? Wendy's, Sarku Japan. They haven't even opened yet because of the whole outbreak.
When are they going to open? When is American Dream?
I don't know. Whenever this outbreak is done, I think.
I'm sad that you
What
just
they
said
should do
Sears
at the
is gonna
water
close
park
on
is
me.
wait till the fall. There's no point to open it up now. May is not even 30 days away. I think the smart thing for the mall to do right now is to try and get the rest of the water park ready, get all the elements, and then just wait till the fall. Because nobody's going to go in the middle of the summer unless it's raining outside. But people are going to try and go far. They're not going to want to go to a mall that's
But
close
Sears
by.
is gonna close on me. It's sad. It's gonna close on me.
What's that?
That means that I won't be able to go to New Brunswick like I had planned. Because my parents are probably gonna say no.
I mean, I've never been there. That's why I did it when I did.
But plus that elevator has only been filmed twice, once by me and once by Transit Plus and then by you.
And then someone else filmed it.
Really?
Yeah,
Who?
some New Jersey Transit. They put 2 Sears elevator in NJ. They don't even put the location of the store. So it's been filmed 4 times.
But between the time that Transit Plus filmed it in 2011 to my time in 2018, that was 7 years. It hadn't been filmed in 7 years.
Because I guess everybody assumed that it was a one level store. They probably didn't take a closer look at the pictures. Very interesting too. The store felt exactly like Watchung. Like
I never went to Watchung, but I've driven past the Sears in Watchung because I used to go to school at the center school in Somerset, New Jersey, and I went on kickball games, and we used to stop at Wendy's in Watchung coming back from another school that way.
oh, I see.
So yeah, that's that.
That one was no loss really. The New Brunswick one, yeah, that's kind of a loss because that's an Otis. Smith
From
Haven's a
the
loss 'cause that's
1950s, isn't it?
yeah, 50s, 1950s.
What was it always a Sears?
Which one, New Brunswick?
Yeah.
Yeah, always a Sears. One of the two freestanding ones left in the state. After that one closes, Hackensack's the only one left.
And that's probably going to close, right?
I would imagine soon.
And Rockaway Town Square and Newport, they're probably going to be 3 altogether.
I would imagine unless they have other plans to do it in 2 separate lists, but who knows?
Will they probably close in 2020?
Most likely. I think Sears is going to be done by the end of this year.
I gotta
What's that?
I gotta go to Sears. I really gotta go.
Which one?
On the next list, if Rockaway Town Square is on it, I gotta go.
Yeah, I have to too. I haven't been to Rockaway since 2015. I'm due for a trip.
Didn't you go once in 2014 and once in 2015 and once in 2012?
Yeah, I have.
Why did you go in 1 year in a row? Why'd you go in 2014 and then 2015? Why didn't you just wait a few years?
Because my family wanted to we cut it down a Christmas tree. We wanted to get food after. Like this was about 5 years ago. So I'm definitely due for a Rockaway trip.
Will you do the final ride on the escalators at Mogel's if they're still open?
Depends on when they make the announcement. So who's ever asking about these guys, yeah, they're not as active on the community as they are anymore. They're living their own lives. That's a reference to CV 9120 and Schindler Houghton. They don't really film anymore.
Why don't CVE 9120 don't film anymore?
Because they got other things to do in their lives. They kind of moved on, I guess.
But weren't most of CVE's 9120 videos from the Sussex channel?
Yes, it's all the same person. I don't know why he
most of them were from like prior to 2013.
Something like that. Let me see here. Wathman. Oh, PD all the times. Spam watch. That's nice, I guess. Well, it passes your time during the virus. Yeah, I know. I like CVE 9120. He made some fantastic content, but I get why he stepped out of the whole YouTube game. Yeah, and then he got a job eventually. That's why.
How about Transit Plus? Transit Plus wasn't good. He got arrested.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about him much. Oh, hi, Brandon Miller. How are you? I haven't seen Brandon Miller in a couple of years. How are you, man? Hope all is well. What's replacing Sears at Deptford? Nothing right now.
I'm going to go to Deptford in the summer, probably on my way to Atlantic City. because
Oh,
I have to pass through that bad interchange at 42 in by the Walt Whitman Bridge. We all hate that interchange, and it's been under construction ever since I moved to Princeton in 2005.
it's still under construction?
Yes, it is. It's been under
And
construction for like 15 years.
when are they going to finish it?
I don't know.
Hopefully soon. Let me see. I'm good, thanks. How have you been holding up from the virus? So far, so good. You know, it's just got to wait and see.
But have you gone through that intersection by the Walt Whitman Bridge? That bad intersection by the Walt
No, I
Whitman
don't
Bridge?
really travel through South Jersey unless I do for some odd
Or
reason.
have you been through it?
Oh, I
Have you
see.
been through that thing with 295 and 42 and 676?
Maybe a couple of years ago. Maybe when I was I don't know, coming back from Wildwood. I don't really travel in that area. Um, but yeah. But yeah, I'm holding up very well from the virus. So hopefully, crossing my fingers, knock on wood, I don't get it. But hopefully this will be over soon. Yeah, man, definitely. I want this insanity to be over like in the next 2 to 3 weeks, hopefully. Um,
Is social distancing working?
I think so. I mean, our state has an A rating, so that I guess that means something for social distancing.
Yeah, social distancing is like they think it's the best thing right
Well, we
now.
have an A rating, so yeah, I can't complain there.
And
Um,
McCaffrey's, which is the grocery store down the street, for those who don't know from me, they have lines on the floor of where your cart is supposed to go.
well, hopefully I'm hoping supermarkets, so everything will get back to normal soon.
And at Walgreens, you got to stand on a bubble at the pharmacy.
That's silly. Um, I wouldn't count on next Saturday. I would count on mid to late April. Definitely would not count on next Saturday. Sorry to say. I would say your best bet to film elevators is going to be mid late April, and even that's pushing it. But we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, they're still filming elevators. I hate escalators and AirTran lover. Why wouldn't CB91 Canon or others? Because they've moved on. They want to do stuff with their own lives and stuff. They had their run, and they want to go do something else with their lives, and I totally respect that. It's kind of what happened with Pin W Elevator. He quit because he wanted to go do own stuff with his own life. So you got to respect people's decisions sometimes.
But why did he delete all his content? Why didn't he just leave it?
I think he just wanted to move on. He wanted to move
Did he
on.
move on from his interest of elevators?
I wouldn't necessarily say interest of elevators and transportation. I think he wanted to stay with the hobby. I think there was factors that might have been pulling him down that he just needed to step away and move on with his life.
I ain't stepping away anytime soon.
I don't got any intentions to, but if stuff really goes bad, then I may have to. But I'm not quitting don't worry, guys. I'm not quitting anytime soon. I'm still here and kicking, so that's a good thing, I guess. Do you think the virus will kill stores and malls? I can't say yes, can't say no. I don't know. Probably not. They just passed something today that'll protect some businesses. So, I mean, Sears is going to just meet his fate after this whole virus thing blows over. But I think it's only a
We
matter of
gotta
time
listen
for the
to
rest
what
of them.
President Trump and Governor Phil Murphy have to say.
What's that?
We gotta listen to the government, President Trump, Governor
Yeah,
Phil Murphy.
yeah, all of them. And I think the April 20th deadline to reopen schools, I think, is smart. I think that gives people enough time to, practice social distancing. So, and at least by then, malls will reopen up probably that week before people go back to school. So hopefully, that'll be the way that things turn out, and then slowly but surely they'll open up the rest of the theme parks, and everything will be back
PA
to
is
normal.
different. PA might open up sooner because they have less cases.
Yeah, and I think it's going to start in the Midwest, and then it'll keep spreading west and then east, and then it'll get to the coastlines. I think that's how it's going to work. So it'll start out where the virus is not too bad, and then it will eventually spread to the rest of the nation, and then everything will be back to normal. I think that's what's going to happen.
But they said California is going to get it in 5 days.
What do you mean?
And I have family who live in California, and California is going to get it in 5 days. That's
What do you
what
mean?
California might get the coronavirus. They just put in an emergency there.
Like, as in, don't they have cases already?
They just put it as a state of emergency in California, and they put them in a shelter in place.
Well, yeah, that's what's happening here. How is that different?
I don't know. It's just because it's a bigger state than us.
Yeah, but New York's the epicenter. It's the same thing. The
Doesn't New York
lockdown.
City have like 25,000 cases?
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't even want to go over that. That's just gonna make me sick to my stomach. Please.
Governor Cuomo threw a temper tantrum and tried to convince people with more ventilators.
I've just ignored it because it's not worth it, dude.
Lord and Taylor has one store in Florida. I haven't seen that.
I don't even know if they have any stores in Florida. So
Have you been to any malls in Florida, Chris?
no, and I wish I have, but I wanted to go to the Mall Millennia. It's a really nice mall down there.
How about the Florida Mall?
Florida Mall? No, I haven't been there.
Will you ever go there? Hopefully.
Someday, when I have a car or when I decide to go there for some odd reason. Not in all states. Many states haven't.
Yes, they do. In Boca Raton, Florida, they do have one store.
Surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they close it, though. Because Lord and Taylor.
No, but it's not at the town center of Boca Raton.
No,
It's
I know, but
freestanding.
Is it really freestanding?
I think so. It's not at the town center of Boca Raton.
Oh wow, did not know that. Well, there's only one freestanding Lord and Taylor in New Jersey.
No, Ridgewood is.
No, that doesn't count.
No, it's Westfield. Westfield.
Because Ridgewood was connected to a mall once.
Oh, really? It was?
Fashion Center was a mall. It was anchored by Lord and Taylor and B. Altman. Yeah.
When did they close the mall?
Like in the early 2000s. Like 07, 08. So the only freestanding one is Westfield. Yep, that's it.
Do you think that's going to undergo a Kone mod soon?
I don't think so.
But there was like an era where Lord and Taylor's were going under Kone mods.
Yeah, that one was safe from the mod because they didn't need to modernize it. It's a low demand store. Livingston they had to because that elevator was just crappy, and I think Paramus was just
ugly too. The Livingston elevator was ugly.
Not only ugly, that thing just needed a mod. It's
but
still
they
pretty bad with the mod.
Escalators. They did not replace the escalators.
Yeah, well,
they did not. At Westfield, they did. They used to be Burlington or Dover. They used to be.
No, I think they were in Montgomery or something.
Yeah, they did replace the escalators at Westfield, but not at Livingston. At Fashion Center, they did, didn't they?
But yeah, Fashion Center, they did both the elevator and escalators.
They just did the escalators in Westfield. They only did the elevator in Livingston. Is that right?
I guess. I don't really check the escalators at the stores unless it's.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, that's right. American Dream Miami, indoor water park, outdoor. Indoor theme park, outdoor water park. Yeah, I know. Not all states have declared a state of emergency. What else? Well, I'm not surprised. They're redeveloping many Sears stores into different things nowadays.
So. What is Sears at what do you call it? What is the Sears at
Which one?
I'm thinking about it. Sears at Paramus Park is Stu Leonard's, but I got busted there. They wouldn't let me on the elevator.
Yeah, you can't make yourself look obvious. You have to be discreet. You can't make it look obvious.
What does discreet mean?
That means to go in there like you know what you're doing. Like you can't make it look obvious for an employee to start freaking out. If they ask questions, you have to just talk calmly. You can't freak out and scream, because otherwise, then they get suspicious. So yeah, just a tip
But
of
did they
advice.
like think when I walked in there I was going back to find the elevator? They knew that I was just going in to ride the elevator.
Yeah, you gotta look around and be discreet. Like, don't make it look obvious that you're looking for the elevator. You have to kind of like you have to pretend to be a shopper so they don't think you're somebody in there.
But at Macy's, they don't care.
Well, that's because anybody can use the elevator at Macy's. I went into Stu Leonard's without being noticed, and I was very quiet when the employees walked by so that they wouldn't know that there was anybody there. You know, it sucks, but it's the only way to do it without being noticed. Yeah, and you will get noticed. That's going to happen, but you got to be prepared with something, oh, I just have an interest in elevators. If that's not allowed, I'll be more than happy to leave the place. Something
No,
like
but
that.
Freehold Raceway, I was not thinking I was going to get busted in those service corridors because people use those service elevators, mall elevators, and they use the service corridors as entrances.
Well, I guess that's because Freehold has certain rules. It really depends on the property
Yeah,
and
I think they
and the
do.
guidelines.
Just Simon malls, you wouldn't go in the service corridors, but I think
No,
at
because
Freehold, they're less picky about who goes in. The
which I'm
custodians say
surprised
hi.
about, honestly. They're Make Eric is a very anti-photography company like Simon, but I guess they've become
What's
less
Make
lenient
Eric?
on that. I haven't been to Freehold in maybe, I don't even know, 8 years. Yeah,
7 years.
7. Yeah, I'm due for a trip back there once something liquidates like JCPenney with the Vector.
Can you film the service elevators at Freehold since they're kind of public?
We'll see. Um, what will happen to the Miami International Mall? I don't know yet. Yeah, and as for Fashion Center, yeah, it was connected to the Fashion Center Mall, anchored by Lord and Taylor, B. Altman, and then there was a couple of upscale shops between the two anchor stores. Then it
What
started
is the Ultimate?
B. Altman. It was a luxury department store,
When did they close it?
90s,
90s?
and then it became TJ Maxx, Bed Bath and Beyond, and then some Discovery Center on the third floor, which would remain vacant for a couple of years, and then
And then
finally
Bye Bye
Bobby Baby
Baby.
would come in. Well, and then
And
they
then
got they
Bye
got
Bye
rid of,
Baby
they got rid of the
opened that
Schindler.
when they installed the Kones, the glass
Well,
elevators.
no. First it was the MT. Then they replaced the MT fixtures with vandal resistant. Finally, they removed that elevator, and then they were installing the two Kones.
When did they remove it? 2012?
Yeah, like 2011 more so, I think, which I
No,
was surprised about. But that thing was a piece of junk, so I'm kind of glad they removed it.
wasn't 3 open when you filmed that elevator in like early 2012?
I don't even know. I went there many times to try and go film it, but then it
But
finally opened up.
what was the Discovery Center like?
It was like a almost like a Chuck E. Cheese, but a little bit like a
When did they
hybrid
close
between a Chuck
that?
E. Cheese and a Dave and Buster's.
When did they close it?
I don't even remember, honestly.
2006 maybe?
No, probably like 2000, like I don't know, maybe 3. I don't know. I don't know a lot of this stuff.
Before
I don't know that.
I was born in 2004.
Oh,
So maybe before I was born.
9120. That I believe came from a locomotive on a train or something, or a train cab car. I believe on Metro North. I think that's where the 9120 came from.
The but in but didn't like 2005 and 2006 was a big year for Macy's. That those are 2 big years because they were getting a lot of stores then.
Well, because they were merging with a lot of companies and they were becoming one. But now now they realize 10 years later that wasn't such a smart move. So they're now closing stores left.
Then in 2016, most of the stores that were Strawbridge's closed.
Well, yeah, because they were trying to downsize. I wasn't surprised about Nanuet though.
Voorhees closed.
Yeah, that was one that closed.
Moorestown closed. Plymouth Meeting closed.
Too close to Cherry Hill. I'm surprised Promise Park hasn't closed, honestly. But it could very well close in the next coming years if they choose to leave that mall. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, honestly. Macy's closing at Paramus Park. That's a really unique store too. Used to be an
But
old
didn't they not change like the signs, like the Strawbridge's signs and stuff, not till like October 2006? It wasn't official till then.
something like that. Yeah, I don't know too much about Strawbridges and Clothier, but yeah, that's what happened. So now they're closing.
But they did convert like the Lazarus Macy's and Hex. Some of those were converted in 2005.
Yeah, kind of like
Some
Harrisburg used to be a Hex, and then they converted it to
no,
Macy's.
they converted Harrisburg in 2005, not 2006.
Yeah, and now they're closing it. Ugh.
Like Hex was converted in 2005, like Strawbridge's was converted in 2006.
Yep, something like that. And now they're closing the store.
A lot of stores are closing of Macy's.
Yeah, the next round of liquidations I think is going to begin in May. So that's like Comac, Harrisburg, the rest of them.
How did you know? Why did Harrisburg get released in January when they're not closing for another? When they weren't closing
I
for
think they
another?
just wanted to do it as a full instead of releasing two different lists, which is kind of weird and confusing at the same time.
Because there's no evidence of that store closing yet. Of inside.
Yeah. So I would say, well, the liquidation sales for that one and then the Comac store, which is out on Long Island, I think it's going to start in May, 8 to 12 weeks, probably end of July, early August. They'll close those two stores. It's pretty wild, but it's unfortunate.
But you know the Hex flagship is now Macy's in DC. You know I went there on my trip to DC 2 months ago. I went there.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, I did go there.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
did.
right. That's right. April is Lighted Up Blue Day. That's right. I forgot about that.
Macy's bought all of them in 2006. No, they bought some of them in 2005. I'm more for
05
sure.
and 06, but 06 they bought 05 and then 06 is when they closed the transaction because it takes a couple of months for them to close the transaction.
What's a close a transaction mean?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
That like when they're done with the process.
No, they closed some for Brandon Miller. They closed some in 2005 and some in 2006. It was all done by October of 2006.
No, I'm saying they closed the transaction to purchase the store rights. Like, yeah.
In 2005, they closed the transaction.
Yeah, and then they converted the stores in 06.
No, they didn't. Some of them were converted in 05. I know that. It says Lazarus was converted. Any Lazarus stores were converted in 05. I know that for a fact.
Oh, okay. Do you think that these stores would be closed? Yes, they would be closing or they would be merging with Macy's. So they did the merger at a smart time, but it was a mistake because now Macy's took up all those brands and stores, unnecessary stores that they didn't need.
But what did the stores look like when they were Hex? Did they look exactly the same as they do now?
Yeah, Macy's just did very little renovations because there's not really much you can do to a building. They did very little cosmetic things to make it look like a Macy's.
What's that mean, cosmetic things?
Like the walls, the panelings, like not changing the layout of the store, like just changing like the sections of the store to make it feel and look like a Macy's. Like they don't have to necessarily, gut the whole building. All they have to do is just do little renovations here and there. And then to eventually convert the store over a certain period of time.
That's why they didn't take down the nameplates till like October of 2006.
Yes. Yeah. That would be why.
But I would say by late October 2006, it was all done. There was no more evidence of Kaufman's, no more.
Yeah. So it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time to remove the stuff. You got to pay people to do it. It's a whole process.
It does.
Whole process. Okay. Yeah. So
Are we gonna end soon?
I mean, I don't really have much else to talk about. Okay, keep in mind that the merger took place right. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Because probably we were heading towards a recession. So
What's a
ultimately,
recession?
like when the economy keeps going down. I'm surprised you haven't learned that yet. Oh, because you're only in what, history one?
No, I mean world history.
Yeah, so you haven't learned recession yet. But when you do get to U.S. history, you will learn about recession and stuff. You'll learn about depression and stuff.
But you know what happened to Burlington Center in January of 2007? There was a huge battle there, like a big fight in January of 2007 that caused the mall to close for 2 days, and then performance there started to go down after that.
Well, yeah, a fight at the mall, especially
Yeah,
at
there
one
was
that's
a huge
not
fight.
a prominent one, can really hurt the reputation.
What's a
Westfield Garden State
prominent
Plaza, it's a
fight?
much different story because it's just that good of a shopping complex.
What's a prominent fight mean?
Hold on, give me 1 second. It could mean something that like it's a place, it's a thing that people trust, like the place that they know that there's stuff to see. This, the mall's a safe place to go, and it's not something like what's it called? It's not something like a dangerous mall, declining stores. That's why. So if you compare Burlington Town Center with Westfield Garden State Plaza, they're two totally different properties. Westfield Garden State Plaza, there's more choices of stores and gives people a much more reason time to spend at the mall. Whereas,
Burlington Town Center.
yeah, there's fighting going on, and store decline, and competition from the other surrounding malls
That
like
was
Cherry Hill.
right after Macy's. Strawbridges became Macy's, and Macy's only lasted there for 3.5 years. So what a shame that was.
Things happen.
Yeah, what a shame that was. Because
No,
Burlington Town Center, you know the sculpture of the boy riding elephant by Dinos Ferdakis?
yeah,
That got removed, and no one else can see it. Didn't it get moved to a museum?
something like that. Well, it's good that they saved it though. Macy shouldn't have taken over. Yeah, I think they just did it to expand their presence, and then clearly they saw that as a mistake 10 years later.
And they did. I most certainly agree.
And then the wave of the closures hit in the 2010s. This pandemic could be a long term blow for department stores and malls because it may impact people's long term decisions to shop online. That is a very, very well out and carefully thought out explanation. That could very well happen. That's a very well and thought out explanation, actually. And that could very well happen in the coming years. I hate to say that, but you're kind of right, Brandon Miller. That could very well be the fate of the rest of the department stores. It won't happen overnight, but it'll take a couple of years for them to close certain locations that aren't doing well. Or as I like to call it, underperforming stores.
But why isn't JCPenney closing more stores? A lot more.
Because they have to wait for their earnings, and then that's when they make decisions to close certain locations.
They closed 140 stores. You know that, right? In 2017?
Yes, because
Why
they
did
wanted
they
to.
decide to close another 140 or 150 more?
Because after that, I guess they saw a way to be financially stable. It really just depends on how stable the company is. Sears, for an example, is a company that is in a lot of trouble, and they're just desperate for any kind of cash they can get. Why do you think they just sold in Novel Solutions for $1 billion to Costco? Because they're desperate for cash, and especially now with the coronavirus, they'll do anything for any kind of money. Sad but true.
But Macy's might close Menlo Park or Woodbridge because they're so close to each other.
I would say more so Woodbridge. Menlo Park is a profitable enough store, and Brunswick Square might be on the chopping block too. I hate to say that, but you got the competition of Freehold, Menlo Park, Monmouth. So Brunswick Square and Woodbridge could be on the chopping block. Livingston might be on the chopping block. Paramus Park.
How's Short Hills?
What's that?
Short Hills, no, right? It wouldn't
No,
be.
No, because they just upgraded that elevator, and I think Woodbridge might be safer now because they just upgraded that elevator too.
They upgraded that elevator in 2019.
No, like 2017. Yeah, so that store I think is safer now. Brunswick Square unknown, Livingston unknown. Nanuet's already gone.
But didn't they update the elevator at Short Hills like when it still had Adams, and then they did the mod like in early 2018?
Yeah, they had to because when they did that mod, it was a huge mistake.
Why was it a huge mistake to do the Adams mod?
Because they didn't do the mod right, so they had to do it again.
It was like constantly beeping.
Yeah, they had to fix it because I guess customers were complaining. So as Macy's takes it.
I was the first one to film the modernized elevator. I was the very first one to.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not a bad running one.
But they just went cheap with the speaker.
Oh yeah. The speaker quality was not on the agenda for that modernization, which is unfortunate because the Bloomingdale's one speaker sounds much better than the Macy's at Short Hills.
Yeah, it does. I was so surprised to see it. Like you went like 3 days later after I filmed it.
Well, I'm not close, so I'm
you
not
went
gonna.
3 days later. Did you like not know until I filmed it, and then
I kind of had a sense of feel. I mean, I don't really go to the shops at Riverside that much.
But when did it get modded? 2019, sometime then.
Yeah, because they're redoing that whole portion of the mall, and I guess they figured they wanted to upgrade the elevator. It was probably an excellent chance to do so. So I don't really go to Riverside that much, anyway. So I only go there when it's absolutely necessary. I don't have a passion to go back there, honestly.
But don't you go to like Maggiano's for birthday dinners or something?
Used to, but not anymore. I only stick to the Cheesecake Factory or this place called BJ's Restaurant and Brew House.
You like the Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah, it's not bad.
I don't.
Oh, that's a shame. I just want to see the rest of the questions. Shopping in prison. Grundy store closed. How so? Hi. How so? What do you mean by how so? Oh, the shopping. Do you mean the shopping online or going to the shops in Riverside? I don't get that one. Hello, Photo Electric Elevators. How are you? I'm really sad, Photo Electric Elevators, about Broadway Commons. I still can't believe they closed that store 5 days earlier than expected. Very sad about that. So, oh man, so many closings, and I don't even know if I'm going to make it to Smith Haven. And I still got to get to Kmart at Penn Station. I was going to go during my spring break, but that ain't happening now.
Don't go to New York City right now. Please don't. Especially Penn Station, where there could be lots and lots of people.
Oh no, I'm waiting for the all clear. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm not going right now. I'm just waiting for.
You went to New York City right now, literally.
I'd have to put a mask and gloves on, and yeah. But no, I'm not going.
Lock down the city and quarantine it like they did with New Rochelle.
Yeah, well, they just lifted the ban for New Rochelle
because it got better there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think Westchester County and that part of the state is getting better.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they do the social distancing for 2 weeks, things will get better. It's just the media wants to hit you with negative news.
New Jersey's already getting better. Mercer County and South Jersey isn't bad.
Yeah, and they're stopping it quickly. So it's.
Oh yeah, they are.
And Bergen, they're trying.
90 cases a county in South Jersey. There's not a lot.
Yeah, it's North Jersey, which is bad.
Especially Burlington County only has like 90 cases in the whole county.
Yeah, so I think social distancing will slow down the cases and stuff. So that's what
I told you this earlier. The more tests you get, the more cases that are going to come up.
That's why, like people, and I'm not trying to be hypocritical here. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the more people that get tested, the more obviously the number of cases are going to go up. So yeah, people are going to get worried. I don't know. I
not test people. They should just assume they have it. They don't. They shouldn't test people. It's just going to get worse and worse.
Well, I mean, it's necessary to do so, but I think I get it. The media has to do their job, but I don't want to hear it 600 times. That like I was saying about that train crash, they spent maybe 15 seconds talking about it. Crazy.
The
Crazy.
media needs to stop talking about the coronavirus.
I wouldn't say totally, but no more overreaction. Like, we get it. We get it. We understand it's a serious pandemic. But anyways. Yes.
Well, guys, I have to go now because apparently it's getting really late for me.
Okay. All right,
So,
man.
I'll text you later. Bye-bye.
Will do. Bye. Okay. If you guys have any more questions, okay, I gotta just shift this because he left. Okay. So we'll keep going here for a little bit. Chris, same here. I was going to film elevators during my spring break, but that's not happening. Yeah. I could see why. Yeah. Like I said, right now the social distancing is what's important. So, but yeah. So that's why. Yeah. Bye. That was for transportation at 30. He unfortunately had to go for the night. So we'll keep it here for maybe another 15 to 20 minutes unless you guys start getting bored. So like I said, just keep answering those questions. Let's take these out now. I'm not leaving soon.
Okay, sorry, I had to fix my mic. I could be wrong, but this pandemic could cause people to not. No, they still will. They definitely will, and they'll do it a lot more once we get past this madness. But I do think it is going to affect the retail. I mean, Modell Sporting Goods just halted their liquidation sales. Hello, Ultra Eric. How are you? So regarding closings, there's not really much to talk about except Modell's, but Modell's is Modell's. Nothing really major on Sears layoffs. I mean, I could double check really quickly because I live on this website. Well, with the coronavirus pandemic, I just live on Sears layoffs nowadays. Let's see, anything here? No. Yeah, like I said, let's take New Rochelle for an example. This is a town in Westchester County. They ordered a self-quarantine for 2 weeks. They'd had a 1-mile radius. They self-quarantined everybody for 2 weeks, and they just lifted the ban. So I think the most important thing for the coronavirus, and this is just me coming out and saying what I feel is the most important thing, social distancing is very important, especially right now. I think the goal is, I think in the next 2.5 weeks, I think the number of cases will be going down. I think things will start to get back to normal. Kids will go back to school. I mean, I'm going to be online remote learning because I'm a college student, but the kids that are in high school or lower, I believe will be going back to school after spring break. I do truly think that by that week of April, right after Easter, I think normality will start to come back. I think that is just right now, if we can spend the next 2 weeks with the social distancing, I think things can start to get back to normal mid to late April. So I'm very optimistic about this. We will get through this, and I know things will get back to normal by that middle week of April. Trust me. I've been very I predict stuff, and most of the time, I would say about 95% of the time, I am very accurate about things. So claim if I'm wrong, but I'm very accurate about things, and I do believe by that April 18th, April 20th things will be back to normal, unless you're a college student, obviously, like myself, where the rest of the semester is online, and that's because they don't want to send students back for less than 5 weeks of school. So. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Modell's is going to be ceasing operation, I believe. I would say early summer. All schools in New York State, LI Elevators. I don't know if you've been listening to Governor Cuomo. He said all schools in New York State and city will be closed till April 17th. So I would say count on all schools being closed in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania is a little bit different, but New York, New Jersey, Connecticut until April 17th, and everybody will resume classes back in schools by April 20th. Count on that, guys. Guys, and I'm not saying this to be somebody who is trying to put pressure, but I'm somebody who can predict things, and I have been very right about 95% of the time. There is that extra 5% where I'm wrong, but about 95% of the time, I'm pretty accurate about these things. You know, yes, I follow the news, but I don't spend 6 or 7 or 8 hours listening to the same thing 600 times. I think that is an absolute waste of time and energy. That's just my opinion, obviously. So regarding mall trips, we are right now looking at Smith Haven for possibly the 18th or the 25th. And that is only because Sears is closing in May. As for Kmart at Penn Station, that is going to be a 50-50. I don't know if I'm going to make it there in time. And again, that's just due to the whole thing with with New York City being the epicenter of the coronavirus, obviously. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. So regarding any other elevator videos after that, I would say Harrisburg. I would say, well, yeah, and that's the other thing, guys. Unfortunately, Harrisburg is canceled. I mean, it's not officially canceled, but the hotel just canceled our reservation, so I will most likely not be going there till the summer. But the good news is Macy's in Harrisburg has not started their liquidation sales yet, which means I still have a chance to get there right before the store ceases operation in, I believe, June or July of 2020. Yeah, I don't really watch. I just watch the news at 11 most of the time. I just watch it once a day, typically. Sometimes not. It just depends on how I feel. Because of the coronavirus. They sent an email out, so yeah. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, they canceled their reservation completely. I was a little bit upset, but you know what? They have to do for the protection of that. Possibly, but it's a brand new hotel, and I can't see them doing that to turn a new hotel into a makeshift hospital. I think they're going to start out with the convention centers first, and then they might eventually go to the hotels. No, I did not hear about the fire on Route 59. They probably, and I bet NJ Transit Railfan, they probably spent less than maybe 10 seconds on that on the news if they did. Yeah, I know. And right now on Amazon, people are literally buying. You know what? Let's have a little fun here. Actually, let me go on Amazon right now. Let me see how much toilet paper is. I want to actually laugh. Let me see, because they definitely went up. It definitely went up in price. Oh, toilet paper. First thing you get. Holy moly! Toilet paper went up. Wow. Currently unavailable. $20 for toilet paper? Some of this stuff is like $20, $30. Oh my god. Wow. Insane. Way too much of overreaction. Who in their right mind is going to pay $30 for toilet paper? Toilet paper. I mean, it's one thing if you're trying to buy a nice, piece of jewelry, or like a game, like a used game. I mean, you could get a used game from GameStop, which is, by the way, they're not doing too well either. For that kind of money, $30 for a pack of toilet paper. That's such a ripoff. Too many people are panic buying, and that's what I don't like is the panic buying. I mean, even Costco just cut their hours. Now, Monday through Friday, they're going to be closing their stores at 6:30 p.m. until obviously once the whole thing with the coronavirus blows over, but still it kind of stinks. So anyways, so did they really? It's probably on what's it called? Transform Co. Transform Hold Co. Better brands. TransformCo.com. Now they just have the press release about Costco. Oh, Sears.com. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Like you, we are taking action. Nothing about stores closing, just about continuing to serve customers in their stores. So, oh man. Wow, there's a lot of people on here. I don't know, I want to see how the stream is doing. Okay. It's cool, I guess. So, you guys have any last minute questions? I'm probably going to wrap up this live stream pretty soon. So if you guys have any last minute questions, please go ahead and leave them in the comments section. And I think, unfortunately, for tonight, I'm pretty tired. I've had a long week and I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. As it is, I have to get up at 5 a.m. because I have to go to the supermarket. Trust me, it's something I didn't sign up for, but like I said, we need stuff and yeah. But I'm hoping that this thing will be over very soon. Because I do want life to get back to normal, and I would like to start going to places again and seeing stuff, and hopefully soon things will get back to that normality level. So like I said, if you guys have any last minute questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat. And because the questions don't come in as quickly, unfortunately, on my phone. Okay. So yeah, let me just see here. Okay. So yeah. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and end the Q&A live stream number 41 here. So I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in to Q&A live stream number 41. I know our friend Transportation 930 could not stay too long. I'm pretty tired. I have stuff to do, but everyone, before I leave, I just want to say, number one, please make sure to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Number two, social distancing is very important. Make sure you stay at home. Do not go anywhere unless you absolutely need to, like me tomorrow. I have to go to the supermarket to get stuff for my family. So anyways, guys, thank you again for watching Q&A live stream number 41. And I will see you guys on Monday with an update regarding the status of the coronavirus. So stay tuned for that, as that will be coming at some point later on Monday, or possibly something on Wednesday. Depends on how work works out and stuff with school. So anyways, guys, thank you again for watching Q&A live stream number 41. And if you guys want to check out any other videos while you're in being in self-quarantine, please go right ahead. So anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this broadcast, and we'll see you soon. That's it.